broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Who is that? We're looking at some random picture of a girl on that screen. I think it's Emmy.
It might be.
I told Mark, our engineer, to pull up some beautiful pictures of women for me to stare at while we do this show.
Awesome. She is. She's sexy. Girl is sexy.
She is.
Shameless fans, welcome back. Another Shameless after show. A good episode. A jaw-dropping episode. I dropped my jaw like maybe 5 times. Called Going Once, Going Twice. And it did. It ended in a bit of a heartbreak, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. A lot to talk about, so let's just start right off the bat. We've got Carl and Nick, the infamous Nick that doesn't speak, and we finally heard what his voice sounded like. JJ, I know you have some strong feeling about this. Go, girl.
I do. Extremely disappointed with this. I feel like, last week I think my question was, what do you guys think are going to be his first words? So, I thought with that kind of build-up, I wanted it to be like an epic situation, like a really funny situation, and just, I don't know, funny word, something. But I just thought, now to just have him start talking, and his first words were this one, it was like, oh. Yeah, I just wanted
completely agreed. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, they built him up so much over the weeks.
You don't understand the bond between a guy and a bike. No, you just don't.
Well, tell me about it then, Phil.
Listen, I remember you'd go down the street and if someone have something new and you'd think like in the back of your pocket you had a new bouncy ball, you'd be like, oh, cool. And then you got shown up. So I understand his need for a bike. And again, it sounds like his dad, like if you really think about it, yes, no, it wasn't funny, but at the same time, if you kind of really step back and listen to a story of him and the father, that's a sad story.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it definitely was still a little funny to me, like the ridiculousness of it. But yeah, I remember loving my bike as a kid and like playing in the neighborhoods and stuff. If kids even do that anymore, like I don't know, bouncy balls. I think those are out.
Yeah, we just gotta get to know Nick a little bit. Like, have you guys seen Addams Family Values?
No. Sorry, we just ruined that.
Okay, one of the reasons it ties this back is because Joan Cusack's in that movie, and she's giving a presentation to the Addams Family, and she's like, I wanted a Malibu Barbie for Christmas, and what did they get me? And I don't know, whatever it was, and then it was like, they had to go. And so there she's doing a slideshow. The next picture is the whole house on fire with the parents killed.
She really wanted a Malibu Barbie.
So like, it made me laugh in that way because I have such strong affection towards that movie, and then to hear Nick say like, yeah, he took my bike, so I killed him.
Right. Yeah, that was serious. But he got his bike, and Carl's kind of just going on a spending spree again. He's got this money to just blow, and he's saving up for a car now. He's trying to buy Dominique a bike, which she actually accepts after she turns down the mink.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Carl and all of this, like, attempts to still be her, daddy, I think he calls it himself?
I'll start. Let's start. You started, JJ.
I enjoy, I liked his fantasy scene where he's imagining himself with the wheels and, she's pimped out in the pink mink.
Right.
And the heel. So I like seeing those kind of things, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much longer.
Right, that was my next question. How long do you think this is going to last? Because eventually something with the guns has to happen.
It has to.
Well, I like that he has aspirations, and obviously Frank's egging him on. So, I think I used to think that this was all going to be about Carl becoming a better person. At this point, I don't know that he is. I don't think there's any saving Carl, and I think he actually will find success in the underworld, and it'll just be funny to watch. Yeah. And you know what? I think he'll get away with it. Or he'll get stabbed by a black gang.
Yeah, well,
Or Chucky.
or Chucky,
Or the
Chucky
neo-Nazis.
is back. I love that she colored his
Goodness.
swastika in, because that was going to be just tough to watch him
Yeah.
like, go out in public like that. But I don't know if I see a storyline with Chucky anymore, like if he's going to last in the family, or whether he's kind of just back for a funny little.
Yeah, there's too much going on
Right,
right now
yeah.
where we don't really need him. Obviously, they're probably setting up something down the line, but certainly right now it's just not necessary.
Yeah, there is a lot to handle right now. I mean, we've got Ian and the firefighters, Lip and Helene, Kevin and Giannis, the bar. I mean, all things we need to touch on tonight. It's a lot going on right now, which I kind of enjoyed. I said while we were watching the show that there was a lot that happened, and I like that, because I don't like feeling like the stories are kind of dragging, or there's a little bit of a pause in what's happening.
Well, I also, before we did have a slight pause in talking about things last week. We understand.
We're sorry.
But Steve is so funny,
yeah.
and we thought we'd give you something different. And in hindsight, yes, maybe we should have talked about the episode a little bit more. But
Right.
I mean, come on, Billy Macy in pink, purple underwear. Come on.
Yeah, you can't get that kind of information, anywhere else than from Steve.
Right, and I think it's really funny for us and, you guys as fans to see that he is extremely similar to his character.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I found, hilarious and kind of fascinating, that, he was literally like, I don't need to act. It is what it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the most... What am I trying to say here? The interview we've had where the real life person was the closest to the character ever.
Agreed.
Usually there's something different, or, they don't act like them at all. But yeah, it just felt like we were sitting with Kev,
And it was hard because it sounds like he really doesn't watch the shows much.
But he's knowledgeable enough.
Well, for sure. I mean, he knows obviously the behind the scenes, and they know the storyline enough. But it's happened a couple times, even last season, where they're like, you know what? I kind of just read my script and read my lines and do my parts, and that's it. It is a job to them. Whereas we're so invested, everyone is so invested, and which is why you guys love talking about it.
I think he found that funny, and he kept jabbing towards that.
Yeah,
and it made it fun. Speaking of which, I know a couple of weeks ago we promised you we'd have some Bill Macy clips, so we have those from an interview. So we'll play that towards the end of the show.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun.
So, just giving you the 411, kids.
Okay, perfect. So another fun part of today's episode was the public restroom. Have you guys ever been to a speakeasy? Because there's a couple here in LA. I've been to one.
There's one that's
it's called Good Times at Davy Wayne's. Have you ever been to that one?
There's one downtown where I know you push a bookshelf.
Fun.
And then it's like a Cuban place, though, I think. And then I haven't been, I just heard about it, and then it opens, and then there's this big bar inside.
Well, this one, Good Times at Davy Wayne's, is in Hollywood, and you walk through a refrigerator to get in. So fairly similar to, this concept where they have to flush the toilet and walk through the urinal. The urinal opens the door.
I liked the bar. I liked the number 1 and number 2 drinks. And it would be a bar I would definitely go to.
What drink would you get?
Ooh, number 1. Number 2 looks a little too thick for me.
Looks a bit like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely probably go with the number 1. I enjoyed this. I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, it's so easy to, you just have to make 2 drinks.
Yeah, working there would be great.
And they're $15.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just doing a killing over there. And they serve tapas. Or topless.
Which is not to be confused with topless.
I'm still hearing topless. That was fun.
Flash for us now. Do it.
Yeah, that was great. That she was like, sit down, have a beer. Yeah. And boom. There are the titties. There are the tatties.
Yeah, I mean, there was your brief nudity, Phil.
There was. I mean, in terms of the storyline, the fact that the shittiest bar is kind of going downhill, and when she hears that it can't be, that there's no coming back from this, it's something that we didn't quite hit on more in the episode. We just leave it at that. But yeah, I'm really nervous because, especially now Svetlana's splitting her time, and she's so great in that regard. And I mean, because you would think that the regulars would come back, at least hopefully, at least them. Now the hipsters are gone, but they're not.
Right.
So.
Well, and maybe that is what happens, that they all, now know that they're not coming back, so they can go back to their regular bar. But it is funny how they're playing off these hipsters, because it is how it is. They find the next cool thing, and then it's cool for a while until the next cool thing comes around, and then she just hop around from place to place. But I did kind of get the feeling that the alibi may
you guys want the coolest thing in the world, right? This has nothing to do with Shameless. Look up Rebel Bingo. It's our little secret, us and the fans. Rebel Bingo. It's gotten a little bit big, but it's like Fight Club meets bingo.
Wow.
I'm a huge bingo fan. Like,
this is definitely
high stakes bingo with old people. Like, that's my favorite.
There's no old people here.
Oh, well, okay, that's even more fun. Have you ever gone to drag queen bingo? No. Hilarious. Rebel bingo. Okay, I'm going to write that down.
I think you're a rebel for going to what?
Old people bingo?
Yes, that's it.
They have like, I promise I'll get back on topic. They have 16 cards. They've spent a lot of money to be there. And like the lady that I sat next to last time had like a ton of cards and won almost $1,000 in one game. Like, it's
don't diminish. Don't let the people think that Rebel Bingo is not cool because you're.
Old people bingo is cool. I'm not saying that at all. It's still go. Oh, it is, because if you win $1,000, you're like, I don't care what age you are.
All right.
I don't care if your dentures fall out next to me. I'm winning the money.
All right.
Yeah. So, but
there you have it.
Back to the bar.
Back to the bar.
I don't even know how that bingo came up.
Yeah, well, it came out because I was recommending a cool place. I was trying to be honest with our fans. Again, there's not too much to say in terms of where it's going. It's all speculation, and that's part of the problem, is that we're still in early territory, so not too much is developed. They're still throwing things out, and then we just got to see into the future of how it's going to play out.
Do you think her name was Georgia, correct? The lady that owned the public restroom? Mm-hmm. Pretty sure it was Georgia. So. Do you think she'll come into play, helping V and Kev maybe open something else, or like kind of reface the alibi?
I think we might be done with her, but I think she gave V ideas, like some things to think about. So I think V is going to be the one that's like
changing.
Going to change things up somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also one of those tough things. I mean, I don't think she's coming back. She's got so many businesses. Why does she need Kevin V? And the fact that the biggest problem is that she can open up a new one and go to a new location, whereas these guys can only stick to the alibi, and they have to reinvent that. They can rename it, rebrand it, but the location is always going to be the same.
Right.
So
we'll see what happens. A fun part of the episode today was finally seeing Ian meet some new people, get out of his shell a little bit,
bring some
possibly,
cookies.
Distribute his cookies, and maybe a new love interest, starts here.
They weren't fudge cookies, right?
Fudge cookies?
That would have been a little on the nose.
Bad.
Okay, well, they weren't being they were being pretty obvious about everything,
the hose
calling them hose pullers.
Pullers, yes, that's it.
Which was hilarious. Mm-hmm. He's like, okay, well, when's the next gay shift? Like, straight up, like, there's a gay shift and they all work together. Just another shameless group of people. But yeah, a couple of the guys are already kind of talking to him. The one that he was that was obviously interested in is married and has 2 children.
Yeah.
Do you think he's breaking that relationship up eventually?
It would lead into the Helene territory. So if they are, I don't want to see it. I'd prefer him and the sculptor.
Me too.
I think that's
gorgeous sculpture, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I was bummed because I was hoping when we saw the firefighter last week that this was going to be his new love interest. So
now, do you think it's a love interest at all, or do you think he ends up finding a career? It's a bit of a mix between what he wanted to do kind of with the army and being someone that's saving people and helping people, but it's not away, and it's not, it's somewhere where he can still kind of control his, disease and all that kind of stuff.
And he can be gay.
Yeah,
and he can be gay, and it's accepted. Exactly.
I saw it as that. Like, he's finally, because he tried, we had the whole scenes with him last week with Lip that, he definitely didn't fit into that college scene, and I think he just doesn't fit in at home anymore, and with Fiona. So I think this was where he's like, and I think there's part of the chaos, like when the sirens are going off and everybody's running around and rushing around, the like organized chaos, but that I think is intriguing to him and like fits with his personality.
Agree. I kind of see too, now that they're going to be, out of the house, maybe it's a place for him to even begin to live. Mm-hmm. Stay at the at the fire
more time
hall.
There.
Do we think he's gonna pull like a fire prank and but only like notify a couple of
squad?
The gay squad, or just a couple of the guys, just to like, hey, I there might be a possible fire. Can you send a patrol to investigate?
No.
And then there he is, like,
he's like
with a candle on his.
it's like a birthday cake. He blows it out.
You were
He's
gonna
like,
say
"Sorry."
candle on his dick.
Yeah.
It was coming.
There you go. We're in sync.
That's totally fine, but I'm not in sync with both of you right now. That's okay. No, Phil, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay. That's what I would do.
No, I think he's gonna go to the sculptor's studio by the airport.
That is the worst direction in the world.
But
It's
that's
by
where
the
they're
airport.
going. Right.
Just come by. It's by the airport.
But you know that next episode he's gonna find it.
I know he will, but
Just be driving around.
Oh, that must be it. Yes, or it'll like literally be called like the studio.
I mean, I get it, but it's just honestly because it's one of those TV pet peeves. Like, okay, can you give actual information? I know screen time, you guys don't have the amount of time that you need, but like by the airport.
Right.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, if you were like AfterBuzz Studios, it's like by that one corner where there's that like well-known liquor store.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sure. Got it. You guys got it.
In America.
In America, right. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens with Ian. I think, last episode it was pretty random. I wasn't expecting it, so I'm excited to see something new for him because his storyline was so good with Mickey. It was so strong. We loved seeing it every week. It was something that you looked forward to. And he hasn't really had anything since. Yeah. Like, there was never, when he was having problems with his mom and everything was going crazy, I was like, I can't even watch this. I just want there to be something, like, good for him. So, hopefully this is it. I'm hoping that's it.
Will he be torn because of Mickey? Because he did kind of make that promise, and whether or not we see him, that's been debated, I know, a lot by fans. And so it's just kind of one of those things. If he does pursue something, is he going to feel guilty in any way?
You're shaking your head. No, I kind of think the same. I got the sense when he left the jail that he was over it.
It was a half-assed promise.
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
Because Mickey even said, lie to me if you have to. Like, for him to get through it, he just...
Yeah.
And we found out his sentence was for 8 years, that episode. So, I mean, it's a long time to ask somebody to just hang out.
Yeah, I think maybe like after this next relationship, then maybe he'll go back questioning it. But I kind of feel like he's going to jump into the next one and not feel too guilty.
Yeah, I agree.
Love comes and goes on these shows.
It sure does.
Oh man, specifically with Fiona, but we'll get to her later. A relationship that ends tonight, guys, in a very dramatic fashion.
Didn't see that one coming.
Kev and Giannis. Good old Giannis bonfire.
I mean, Steve did tell us that there were going to be
flames. It gets heated. He said it gets very heated.
I mean, I
was expecting a fight.
Still thought I thought something was going to go on, be burned up, but I thought house, a car, or I didn't think him. Like, wow.
That was one of the jaw-dropping moments for me, and I eventually started laughing because I was like, what the hell is going on?
But when he just stands way far back and
he's
just
going in a circle.
Blows. It's like, that's all he did. He had a moment there where he could have tried to run there and like knock the stuff off or do something.
He was just like, help!
But help!
At that point, I don't think anything. I did like the technique. Obviously, he's been torn about this for the longest time. When he finally confesses, we stay on him specifically, and the words they chose to give him of like, I think this is, through this, we're gonna really strengthen our relationship. I'm glad we got through this, and the fact that we don't see Giannis's face for the entire time, and then the next thing we just hear a lighter, and then we cut to him.
It was great
where it's going after that, except for the whole him on fire thing.
And he was just spinning in a circle because of his wheelchair. It was just like he just kept going and going. Oh man, I loved Kev's line. He was like, "Oh, it feels so good to get this off my chest. It feels like I'm taking 1,000-pound shit." I loved that.
I like that one too.
So honest.
He is. He's very honest. But yeah, I mean, I didn't expect that. He just stood there like, is he going to leave him in the street, burnt to a crisp? I mean, like, what's going to happen now?
I think Kev's going to be the type of guy, he's going to feel very guilty about this, but also, I mean, it's smart because it kind of ends this from a writing perspective nicely, because once Giannis knew, those kids weren't safe. You knew Giannis was going to light his house on fire,
right.
And that's what V feared from day one, so it worked out for V.
For V.
Yeah, I enjoyed the story arc. Like, yeah, I think it ended at a good time because you don't want to. I mean, how long do we want to sit there and hear him?
No, we didn't
yelling
need
or
to see him get
causing
hurt
chaos
again
or,
and be like, yeah.
Yeah. So it was
Agreed.
Keeps the
terrible.
lesbians
It was,
happy.
like-
Well, I was just gonna say, do you think the lesbians are gonna like? I could see them now bringing over like a fruit basket to thank Kevin.
Oh,
Not that
and,
they know though that it's him, but
and it does present a rather strange opportunity for the Gallaghers to move across the street.
Phil, we didn't.
Good
were
one.
you
We didn't
holding
think about
that
it.
this whole night? Because we were kind of talking beforehand, but we try not to talk about it too much. 'Cause
I
we
don't tell you
wanna-
guys my thoughts.
Oh, you sly dog! You sly dog!
You guys talk about planes falling, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
That was a serious story that I shared.
No, I know. I cared about it in the moment, just not right now. Just not during the show.
Agreed. There was a plane crash near my house. That's what we're talking about. But
It was very traumatizing.
It was. It really was. But if you want to know
worked
more about
through it.
that, you can ask me on YouTube, and I'll tell you. Yeah. So, yeah.
There you go. So we have a house across the street, possibly going. You know,
I like that idea. I like
And you
those
know what?
thoughts. They can
Now-
clean it up.
yeah.
Could be
And you
theirs.
threaten the lesbians of like, hey, do you want another Giannis, or you want to have a family that you know you can trust? Help us put a down payment on this thing.
That's good thing. Good thinking. Yep.
I like that.
So
I would like to know your opinions, your thoughts on this, because that's a great place to guess, see your predictions. You guys have been commenting along a lot, which is awesome. We love it. We all read them and they're fun. They're very fun. So keep commenting and subscribe to us on YouTube. Okay, so Deb and Frank, I want to talk about them. I don't see Frank. We haven't seen him do too many crazy things this season besides being a cancer concierge, which right up his alley. He continues that profession a bit today, but in a different sense where he's trying to find Deb a husband that is going to die so that she can inherit his apartment and or life savings.
I mean, it's not unheard of. And typically, it's usually the woman that gets called the gold digger, not the guy. But you know
Not
what?
her dad.
That's why you have sometimes a father knows best. I actually, believe it or not, I'm in agreement with Frank. Debs needs something right now. Yes,
Does she need Hal 9000 or whatever though?
That's
know what?
exactly who she needs.
Hal 9000 was a great candidate. Okay,
He was like,
just the hair, the creepy hair. You know what? At that point, here's the thing. I don't know what the terms and conditions are of what has to be done, but you know what? Maybe just once is enough, and that's what gets the heart stopped. You take one for the team.
once as in she's going to have sex with him once and stop his heart.
Yes. It'll be that erotic.
I don't see that being very erotic.
Not for her. For him.
He's in. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. He could definitely take his last breath.
The only thing is, this is
He's
tough.
not getting an erection.
The only thing that this is tough is that she's not 18. So she can say what
she's
she wants,
lying.
but legally on paperwork, we need to figure this out.
Maybe that's what happens. She goes through this whole thing. This guy ends up somehow liking her, falling for her, finds out she's sick. What is she, 15, 14, 15, somewhere
50.
in that age?
Well, isn't it, close your eyes or ears if you don't want to hear the preview, but they kind of have a thing and the wife kicks him out, right? Isn't that the thing?
I didn't even see that.
No?
Did you just make that
I
up?
didn't see that either.
No, because she opens the door to the shower, and there he is, and she's like, "Oops, oh well, it's not like anything I haven't seen before." And then
I just assumed she was talking about like another guy's penis.
well, she was, but that's why she's flirting with him.
Right, but
But when did you see the wife kick her out?
Yeah.
Moments after that, like she's like, "Well, I didn't know. I think we'll replay.
We gotta
it.
watch it again.
yeah, God,
Yeah.
I literally may have blacked out during that scene because I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, well,
But
that's
okay.
my theory anyway. If it didn't happen in the preview, so
Okay. Well, if it didn't, you can become a writer. They might need somebody new.
I don't know. I would take every cliche imaginable. I would be
Right.
the world's worst writer.
Yeah, I could never write the show. They're so smart. So yeah, I don't. Do you actually think Deb's gonna have this baby? That's still my question. Do you think they're going through with this entire storyline and she's going to have a child?
I say yes.
I think so too, because I think we're getting. I mean,
It's almost like how can
We're
you have
getting
two babies
along,
and
like-
not have them both born?
Here's the thing. It's
yeah.
what I've realized about the show and kind of most shows in general is that having an abortion actually is an easy way out. For this show, it'd be lazy writing. You know, and whether or not they know what's going to happen after she has the baby, I'm not sure. But it does, obviously, it makes it harder. And then by having to write yourself out of that's what makes good writing. So that's my gut.
Yeah, I think it's hard for her to have, I don't know how to do the abortion now that we've seen like the scene with the ultrasound and she's like, oh, there's the face. And I feel like if it was going to happen, it would have happened before.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to picture like the future of the show if she does, because it's almost like, how long are they going to drag the cycle out of like them taking care of little kids and not having money, and then somebody taking care of somebody else? And I mean, it's literally the entire show is them taking care of their own family, and it's fun and it's entertaining, but it's like, how long can they do that for?
You'd be surprised. I mean, Californication went for a long time, and it's pretty much
Similar.
True.
Similar in that sense of like, you'd think like, what are they gonna add to this? And that's part of I realized about this show is that I used to think that there was gonna be some sort of uplifting thing to this all, that there would be some moral code, and here's how to get out of poverty, and no. Right. It's just it makes you wonder, but it also doesn't pass judgment on anything. And if you want to get out of the cycle, it's really going to be up to you.
Yeah.
But this won't give you that answer.
Thank you for that insightful thought. Yeah, exactly. But I needed an answer. No. No,
that's why we look. But that's why we look. In many ways, we look to movies. I grew up mostly on movies as a kid, and so they would all be nice and wrapped up, and like that's why I joked about. There's so many like loves in this entire thing. But a movie, you get like one love, and it works out great in a 90-minute rom-com. They're getting married, this and that.
Yeah.
But with TV shows, like, that happens, and then a new thing happens.
No, it doesn't.
And it rocked my world for a little bit. So just saying, it's a whole different thing. It's life. Life isn't so happy.
You're right. Mm-hmm. It's not. And something that made me extremely unhappy today, in today's episode, was freaking Helene, that little slut.
Yeah, totally agree.
Why do you guys say that? Why you guys
She's
have been
not.
kind of...
I'm just why we hate her, or why I call her?
Yeah, both.
Yeah, no. I mean,
I understand the slut part,
she's just crazy. But I was, for some reason, so touched and like so invested in her little monologue while she was staring at Lip and seeing Lip's face, so vulnerable and like he was almost gonna say that he loves her, and then for her to just be like, nothing like a good bottle of wine to make me talk nonsense. I was just like, F you. No. I don't know, it made me so mad, because that's one relationship for some reason I would like to see, I would like to see them together.
Isn't it just a protective mechanism, though?
Well, sure,
Definitely.
but get over yourself. Yeah. You're, a grown woman. Just say what you want.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I had the same reaction this episode, but I do think it is her mechanism. So I still have hope that maybe things will come around and she'll, change her ways. Because I agree. I love seeing, because I think it's always been, we've been questioning what that relationship was, and then there's the husband and all this weirdness. And so this monologue this time, I love to finally have a moment where we saw some of her realness and a real relationship here. And then,
Yeah, and I mean, they finally saw a little bit more of each other. And, in real life, because usually it's just sex and it's just, some random talk about school and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But going on this conference and seeing her get totally embarrassed by that, that guy in the crowd, it's a whole other side of her that we haven't seen as fans, and he hasn't seen, as her partner. And it was just different. I just, liked seeing that side of those two.
Yeah, no, I mean, I liked that speech. I thought it was really well written, and I thought the acting was absolutely fantastic. And you guys, I look at it. I understand you guys' sentiment. I look at it more from Lip, because I'm a guy and I can relate to that. And that sucks, because he has invested a lot of time into this. They both obviously have. He's given up the other girl that he used to have, and that was
Amanda.
Yeah, and
Who
she's
is back. The bitch is back.
well, rightfully so. I mean, she has a right to be upset because, and in many ways you can call Lip kind of an opportunist. He takes whatever opportunities there are and exploits them. And Amanda was just really great. I mean, the fact that they bonded, her father and him, that I thought would be developed way more. And then here comes this woman who's older and things like that. And it's one of those things where she didn't necessarily force herself onto him. Yeah, she made signals and indications, but he's the one who initiated it in her office hours or whatever, in her office.
Sure.
So, yeah, I blame him as much as I blame her as well. But I also feel for both of them.
Yeah, so I don't really know what to expect since she does have a husband. Maybe that's why she just doesn't want to give herself any more. Or lead him on in any way. But now that Amanda's back, I don't know how that's gonna go either, because they tease us a little bit in the credits, and she says something like, something to the sense that she was hurt, so how does it feel to get hurt? What do you think that's about?
Maybe someone didn't get someone a bidet.
I would be really upset if
Which,
no
by the
one
way,
got me a bidet.
It's the world's worst gift. It's like saying your asshole smells, so you need this.
Like I said, though, I think it would be amazing to have a fresh asshole all the time.
Yeah, but it's one thing if you get it
You
for
get to
yourself.
take a poop and then you're just fresh.
I get that, but it's one thing if you get it for yourself versus if someone's like, you
to
need
Happy
this.
birthday! Here's a bidet.
I'm telling you, the rim that's warm is the best part of the whole thing. Sit down.
Just have a
nice.
heated butt.
Alrighty.
Read the paper. It's wonderful.
That's what you read the paper when you're on the toilet. Yeah, sitting there for like a half an hour.
No, I do look at my phone.
It is the one. It's the one time where you can really kind of just.
It's kind of my.
I tend to
routine.
call my parents when I'm on the toilet because I just feel like it's free time. So I'm like, "Hey guys," they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm taking a shit.
Hi, Joni.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So funny. So yeah, we'll see. I actually think something with the hurting, Amanda hurting him is something to do with her dad and an internship or something in that field where she's gonna totally fuck Lip over with a job or something.
See, I thought it was maybe Helene, it's off, and so then he says things are over with her, but he's hurt by it.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, do you think he's going to be the one to end it? Because obviously, I think she's totally fine with continuing this fling. Or, obviously, if it could go that way, or if she actually does have feelings and she's like, you know what, this was a fling, and you know what, I found somebody else. Because that was his worry and the reason why he punched her son in the first place.
Right.
So, which indicates that he obviously has strong feelings for her. Because a
sure,
guy doesn't just punch someone
sure.
if they don't care about the girl.
For sure. I don't know. I don't see him ending it, but I do see him bringing it up and it becoming a fight. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really see her ending it either. Like with what you said, she just totally brushed it over and is kind of pretending nothing happened.
Yeah, but she can get any guy.
I could see him
for sure.
if she keeps acting like she was at the end. I mean, because she had a suitcase packed by his bed, like everything already. Did he wake up to that? Like I feel like if she keeps kind of that cold, now distant attitude towards him, that he would maybe walk away and just be done with it.
Yeah, and Lip's not one to he obviously has emotions for her, but I don't think he's like the love puppy child that's gonna just follow this woman around for the rest of her life. He's very reptilian in the sense that that's why like his first instinct is to punch a guy. So in this instinct, if like a woman upsets him, he knows I think he knows in the back of his mind he can get another girl, and that's gonna be part of his tactic to try to upset that person. In this case, Helene.
Yeah.
Or he'll have Ian sleep with the husband. I don't know.
That would be a turn of events.
Oof. I don't want to see that one. Thank you.
I do think the husband's gay, though.
Yeah.
I think that was a good prediction someone made. I just could see that.
So,
Okay, well, at the moment of the hour, the
auction.
Fiona, the auction, Sean, the ring, coming up with the money. Carl has it. They won't use it. I mean, it's like
Sean being a killer.
Sean killed a guy.
You know what? Okay, I give him credit for being honest because, as he said, like, you know, my NA, they said that I would need to be honest, and that's what we're in my last relationship. And so, I you know, it wasn't easy for him, but he did it. And, you know, it's not like last time where he's saying I did drugs. Like, this is all in the past, way past. And obviously it torments him to this day, and it is important information for Fiona to know. Perhaps, yes, she could have learned it a little bit sooner, but, you know, obviously he told her now instead of, it would have been far worse to find out had they been living together.
Yeah, and when is it a good time to really bring up that you killed a guy?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Pillow
not
talk.
like, hey, nice to meet you. I killed a guy.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
You know, in the bedroom, you know what we did right here? I killed that in the bedroom. And speaking of killing, that would have been, imagine that. That would have been a terrible segue. Like, in the bedroom? No.
And then you'd be like, get off of me, you creepy killer rapist.
Not that I liked that he killed somebody, but I liked that because I was
Good start.
I was about to, when he had the look when she mentioned moving in together, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So then I was about to be like, oh no more Sean, because if he's scared now for her to move in, like this is something like,
Right.
Yeah, I was exciting with Fiona on that decision to be like, I don't know about this one now. So
Right.
I liked that it was something big enough that yes, that would definitely it made legitimize his fears and what that look meant. So I liked that.
Yeah, unlike with Gus, even though they might be moving fast, at least he is, you know, they know each other pretty well. And obviously there's that difference. Like, they have known each other way longer than Gus and Fiona. But these are just things, and that's why, like, the world's worst decision last year was to get married. So, you know, these are things that only time can give you.
How about the ring that was worth $7,000 and she took $1,900? That was killing me inside.
I know. Go to another place. Get a few more opinions.
Killing me. I mean, that's how bad they need the money. She got it. She sold this ring, and they don't even win the house in the auction.
Yeah, that was...
Is she gonna go buy it back now with the money she has? I mean, it's like, it'll be gone.
I thought you're buying it back.
I thought because they had the shots of Nick and Carl kind of slapping down people's hands, so I thought something would kind of happen along with that, where they would actually get the house, and Nick and Carl would be successful, and so even though they didn't take the money from Carl, the drug money and or whatever money, obviously no, it's gun money, but at least they would have, like, it would have been a whole Gallagher fiesta of just everyone doing their bit.
Right. And the couple that bought the house seemed so nice and, like, put together. It's like, you're not buying this house. You don't actually want this house. But I guess it's the up-and-coming neighborhood next to the lesbians who... the Lisas, excuse me. I just, you know... I don't know. Steve Howie told me, he said, the Lisas last week. I kept calling them the lesbians, and he was like... The two Lisas.
Well, they're both.
Right. So it's the lesbians. That's what they call them on the show.
Well, certainly not
I was like,
not Kevin on the show. He doesn't call him that.
right.
No.
Right.
You know, I know you guys were kind of worried as soon as, like, Fiona heard the fact that she could start to get these loans.
I did.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
uh-oh. She has never had a credit card. She doesn't have any credit, which worked out, you know, amazingly in her favor. But now she's got this $100,000 loan that they're going to blow and not be able to pay back. It's the only thing I can think. I just can't see them being smart enough to just give the loan back now that they don't have the house, or they're going to use it to buy another house.
Yeah, I mean, they still need a house of sorts.
Right.
So, and I don't think you can use that money for rent, certainly. Because that's not collateral. You know what I mean? Like, the whole part of the mortgage is that they...
Right, they have something that the bank owns.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, yeah, it's, you know, right now, Fiona's been much, much, much better, right? Except for the whole getting the pregnant thing. And but apart from
and
that...
the whole, no, it's just like letting the people live in her backyard and...
I think she kind of deals with the most important things first. Like she knows that's not the best thing, and then eventually she'll put a stop to that. But right now, there's not even a house necessarily for them to live in. So, also speaking of that, right? So because she did have that appointment, and yes, it took a backseat to saving the house.
The abortion appointment.
The abortion appointment.
Yes.
How is this going to continue? Because she's doing a lot of drinking, she's doing a lot of smoking, and I feel like it's the longer she doesn't have the abortion, the higher the chance of her having it, even though she says she doesn't want to have it.
I was thinking the same exact thing when she's sitting on the couch, and I thought, well, she pushed the appointment back again, yet she's sitting there having a beer. Like, is she going to have this,
She's going to have the baby with fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah. That's $200 a month.
Yeah, right. And if it has a club foot, gets an extra 400 or whatever. Yeah, I don't want her to have the baby.
I don't either. Yeah.
It's just
not saying I agree with abortion. I just don't want Fiona to have a child. So
I don't either. I want her to get a successful relationship, and I want them to have some time just like together, and for time for her to like not be raising people, to just have some time to live her life a little bit.
Yeah, I think.
Well, not even that. I just don't. She's not responsible enough to have. I mean, as much as she has taken care of these kids, most of the kids have been old enough to handle some things on their own. They would go to school themselves. They would, Lip's in college. Ian would roam around with whoever. Like, it was never like having a newborn. She does have, the littlest.
Liam,
the little guy. Mm-hmm. But we just don't even see that relationship. It's not something that they play up her with him.
I want to see Liam.
We don't even know if he goes to school. We don't know, we don't. Yeah. We've seen him eating breakfast like once this season, It's so to me, I just haven't seen that relationship with Fiona to be able to feel like she would be a good mother at this point.
I'm glad they brought Patrick back, because last time we did speculate, how are they getting evicted? And I stupidly said, we've seen that storyline before. And obviously we kind of have, but it goes back to Patrick and the cousin and Aunt Ginger and so on. Mm-hmm. And so, we had to kind of go down our memory bank of like, what is this? And then, we remember they struck that deal. So I'm glad they brought that back. And I wish we got to speculate on it a little bit more last week, and but
right,
good old Patrick taking advantage of them. Well, my credit's shit. I got $60,000. I got the Blackhawks season tickets. What do I care?
Right.
Not my house. I don't need to live in it.
Sure, and totally dissing her family in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Gallagher way.
It is. It is the Gallagher way.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we're all sighing it like it was an exhausting episode.
It's heavy.
It is.
Very heavy.
It is. It was.
It's only going to get heavier before it gets good.
They always kind of do that to us.
Yeah. Right. But I'm glad no more Jimmy Steve. What's his last? Whatever his.
Jack.
Jimmy Steve Jack.
I'm not even going to comment. He was my favorite.
He was my favorite too, but I'm with
But
you.
he turned out to be a dick. He left.
He
left as a
but now
dick.
she's with a heroin/murder.
At least he's honest.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love him. He's hot, but I don't know. There was something about that first relationship that was.
I agree. I love them together, but I have to admit, after the fourth name, I was like, okay, she can't.
Exactly. It got to be a lot. If she stayed with him, you're like, Fiona, you dumbass.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right, predictions. Should we play? Do you want to play the clips of?
Yeah, we can play some
Billy?
clips. We can play some Billy clips. All right. So I teased a couple of weeks ago, for those of you who watch regularly, that William H. Macy appeared on Maria Menounos' SiriusXM show Conversations with Maria daily, 10 a.m. Pacific time, so that's 1 p.m. Eastern. And so I kind of got to sneak in on the interview and be part of it.
Lucky duck.
That's right. Well, part of it was selfish, but it was also strategic, because I knew if I got him to like me, then he'd come here and do it this way. And so we are working on that. Woo. And you know what? If all goes well, we'll be playing charades with him at his house. That's what my ultimate hope is.
I would die.
So speaking of the pregnancies and the abortions, we have a clip, him talking about abortion and then his kids. So Mark, if you will, go ahead and play that clip.
Which clip am I playing? The Proud About Sex and Shameless?
That's right.
All right, just wanted to make sure.
The part with sex and Shameless.
Their storyline this season, I remember something about there was a pregnancy scare or something, or someone is pregnant.
Yeah.
Phil, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's the youngest daughter, Debbie, and then there's also Fiona right now. She's...
Two have aired, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both pregnant. And I love the way we deal with it. I love the way we deal with sex anyway. I like that there's so much of it. So much of it is matter of fact. It's romantic sometimes.
So
Sometimes it's
romantic.
kind of ugly. But mostly it's just sort of matter of fact, which I think is realistic. I think it's good for America to see sex like
I love
that.
this
And
next
there's
question
sex
from
and
Maria.
teen sex. There's all this sex. I thought the phones would light up. I thought that we would get in so much trouble. No.
Wow.
Because it exists. It exists. You know.
But does teen sex scare you with teen daughters?
Oh, my God, yes. I don't want them having sex until after they've had children.
All right, you can pause it right there. You can pause it right there. So yeah, you know,
Love that comment.
he's a fast, witty guy.
He is.
And he's an honest guy.
He is. You guys, can they find that clip if they want to hear the whole clip on SoundCloud?
So so these clips are up on SoundCloud. You know what? If you go to conversationswithmaria.com, you can get these clips there. To listen to the full episode, you do have to subscribe to Sirius. However, they have like a 30-day trial. So I recommend just getting the 30-day trial at the very
Listen to
least.
that interview.
And then after that, you know, if you still want to keep the subscription, by all means, do it. But at least for 30 days, you get to have it for free.
Sure. And he makes a really funny comment about his daughter's, you know, future boyfriends or whatever. If they walk into his house with a baseball cap on, he's going to lose it. Which is funny because a lot of dads are kind of like that. Like, it's a disrespectful thing to have a hat on, like wearing a hat to dinner. You know, it's just, it's very... you know, it's very fun to see him talking about his real life family. So it is it's worth listening to, finding.
Speaking of that, again, there's so many great nuggets, but we'll play one more. So this is where he's talking about the fellow cast members because, you know, we've all talked about how they're so close, right? And especially Shanola, she would always kind of break it down for us. And not that they aren't, but it's interesting how kind of Bill explains it. So, Jonathan, if you will, hit that clip.
Tell me about working with Emmy and everybody. Are you guys just like such a family at this point?
Reality has imitated art. I'm not close with them except on the set. They hang out together a lot. They're also half my age. Jeremy's birthday was coming, and they said, "You want to come to his birthday party?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Really?" I said, "What do you? That hurt my feelings." Of course I want to. Yes, I'm coming to the birthday party. And then they called me the day before and said, "It's in Santa Monica."
You're like, hell no.
God. I said, okay. What time? 11:30. I said, who goes to a birthday 11:30 at night? I said, the party starts at 11:30 at night?
Phil, I wouldn't have gone either.
There you go.
Who goes out at 11:30? It's not New York.
Thanks, John.
That is.
Greg.
It's not New York.
Yeah.
New York places are open until 4. I happened to be out really late the other night, and all of a sudden the bar was closed, and I was like, I'm not used to this. I went to school where it was closed at 4. In New York, it's closed at 4. That's where I'm from. But yeah, 11:30 is late out here.
When I first did an internship in New York, coming from Nebraska, they're like, "Well, take her out for work. You know, take her out this Friday. She'll share with the city." So I was like, "Okay, I'll go out with these people." And they're like, "Yeah, meet at our place at 11." And I'm like, "What?" Like in Nebraska, the bars were done at 1, 2. So I was like,
You're
"We're
like,
gonna
I
be
can't
out for
stay
like
up
2
that
hours," you know.
Yeah.
Then when I moved here, I expected LA to be like New York and be out up till 4, but nope, shuts down.
Yeah.
Man. Well, Bill does get crazy with charades. You know, we talked about what?
God.
Oh.
Hello.
Hell, Bill, are you there? Bill, you trying
Yeah.
to
Calling in?
Calling in, yeah.
Come on the line.
No, and he loves that, and so you know, but that starts probably at like 6 p.m. and goes till about 9 p.m. You know,
Right.
doesn't get. And by the way, what I loved is he's like, yeah, charades is just kind of like the thing, so that way it's an excuse to drink. So there you go,
If I
life
had
lessons.
the chance to drink with Bill
Right?
Macy, and I would say, can I call you Bill?
He prefers Bill.
Okay, perfect. Because I'd call him Bill. And then I would want to be on his team because we know he cheats.
He does
So then
cheat.
we would win.
Not all the time though.
And we would drink, and we would have
Can you
fun.
imagine the stories? It'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They could show us his underwear.
I sure hope so.
There's a great moment. They kicked out Mark Cherry because they have like they have like a thread line for these charades, and Mark Cherry, after like the fourth whatever question or round, he said, "Oh, these are all women who were in the shower doing their hair." That was the theme, and everyone was like, "Mark Cherry, get the hell out!" Because everyone's like, "How the hell would you know that?
Right.
Like, how would you get that?" And it was true, but it was like, "What?"
But it's like, you cheated.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So anyway,
Well, keep working on that, Phil.
what's that?
Getting us to his house.
We'll
to play
work on it.
charades.
So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, the full, you can get the full thing, and and hopefully we have him in here to talk Shameless with us. If you thought Steve Howie was crazy, in the best of ways,
Right. Whew.
Bill Macy is equally as crazy in the best of ways. All right,
Okay.
that's all I got.
So good. Do we have predictions, or do we kind of?
I
Do you
have
have a
one.
predictions?
I got one small
prediction? Okay.
All right.
Predictions, please.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, I'm gonna predict a bad encounter with Chucky and Carl and the gun.
Okay.
I don't know if Chucky's gonna get shot, shoot somebody. That's all I got.
It's gonna backfire. Carl's
Something.
gonna get shot.
Mike,
Maybe
White
somebody's gonna
supremacist
get
might have
shot.
taught Chucky how to shoot. In
Mike
juvie.
cut off one of them cornrows. That might be the saver. Just go right through it. Oh crap!
Yeah.
Shit got real. I'm interested in the Debs storyline. One of the things they did pick up on was Frank said, "Oh, they'll know that you like to have sex," and I actually have heard that where guys say like, "Oh, that girl's got kids. She likes to fuck."
Where have you heard that?
From guys.
Your friends?
Yes,
Who are you
sadly.
hanging out with, Phil?
She know Joe, our friend Joe. I'm not gonna say Joe Gear. I'll say his
I'm
last
not
name.
gonna say his
Joe.
last name. Joe Gear. I don't know you, Joe
Hey,
Gear,
Joe.
but he just threw you under the bus.
Joe, if
And
you're
you sound
listening,
like a real a-hole.
Joe's awesome. Anyway,
Okay, so you think
I did.
that's what you caught on to.
That's what I caught on to. And in terms of prediction, obviously, I really hope that they resolve this, the housing situation, and it will be interesting to see if it is Giannis's house.
I loved that. I think you said it earlier, but I think that's your best prediction of the night.
Yeah, I
that
do.
was a good one
Yeah. So,
because I didn't think about it.
I didn't either.
and the fact that Debs is going all in on this whole idea of marrying this, like, she had that switch, because to go from Hal 900 to this guy, because she was expecting the other old guy and this and that, and her eyes went on him, and so to see him naked in that bathroom,
Well, she's already raped one guy.
that's
So why
it.
not make it two?
That's right.
I felt bad for the sick wife.
Yeah.
Is there any way that she would be able to convince the new guy that it's his kid?
I don't.
Right?
Only if they have sex soon.
Yeah. Right away.
So we'll see.
I hope not with that one.
We'll see.
Those are pretty much everything I was thinking.
Okay.
I don't think I have another prediction for the moment.
Okay.
Just interested to see what happens.
Yeah. And so just to tell you, we're coming back Monday officially.
Yeah.
So everyone knows that Super Bowl Sunday. Can't tear the girls away from the football screen.
It's a national holiday.
It is. It truly is.
So rather than do
America's
it,
Day.
Yeah.
rather than do it Sunday, we're gonna do it Monday. Time TBD, but that's what we'll do. So we're not gonna, if Monday morning we're not there on your queue, don't be like, whoa, what happened? They skipped an episode. No.
We'll tweet it. We'll Instagram it. You guys, you can find it on social media. And if you comment along with us on this page with this episode, we can even comment along there what date and time we'll be on, or
That's right.
what time we'll be on. Mm-hmm. Yes. Is there anything? I was just thinking it would be fun to ask. Is there anything you specifically want the fans to comment on this week, or is there anything you really want to know what the fans are thinking about?
Was this too
week?
harsh for Giannis? Because the nice part is that Kevin didn't kill Giannis. Giannis killed Giannis. So that
Kevin just watched
yes,
slowly and didn't do anything about it. But correct.
he did.
Technically, you're right.
He did. That's the first instinct. It's either stop, drop, and roll, or
Okay, good. So is it too harsh for Giannis? Was that all too harsh?
Yeah, is this, and is he actually dead, or is he just going to be like half face, and as sad as that will be, again, they make it into a comedy, so you can't help but laugh at no matter what disability they manage to throw in there.
Right.
So, we'll see.
Anything you want to know from
Nothing
fans?
jumping. I mean,
I think the Helene storyline for you guys,
Yeah, I mean, you guys comment a lot about Debbie and that whole storyline. So would love to see still after this episode and after seeing her get her first sonogram, whether your minds have changed about her not having a baby, whether you think she could have the baby, all that.
Okay, listen, the fact that she thinks she could save up for a house. Listen, you have no idea how a budget works.
No, I mean, she's not so naive. Yeah. But your emotions do get part of the show where, in that sense, you don't technically want to be realistic. You just kind of want it to work out for her.
Yeah, but again, it's more typical that we've seen where someone as a hopeful adolescent, you're thinking of, I'm going to go and invent the next Facebook, let's say, right?
Sure.
At least that's like I don't know of many kids that aspire, like, I'm going to be the best teen parent in the history. And maybe it's because I haven't seen enough Teen Mom.
Well, I was going to say,
loved
after that show, I think there was probably quite a few
which was
girls
so
out there
weird.
that,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought it would make them famous or it was crazy. I don't know. I think my biggest question for you guys is, do you think both babies will make it? Or if not both, whose? And, why you think that?
Yeah.
That would be my biggest question.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than, we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
It was an exhausting night. I'm tired emotionally. Physically, it's hot in here tonight. It's very hot in here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but otherwise...
Oh, and Joyce couldn't be here because she's pawning off her ring. We convinced her that she can get a couple of bucks,
Buy us more beer for next episode.
Her wedding's off. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, Joyce was under the weather tonight. We missed her. We missed her innocence and positive thoughts. But yeah, she'll be back next week.
I would have liked to have heard her reaction to Giannis.
Yeah, we'll get it next week.
We'll ask, yeah. So, Phil, where can they find you on social media?
The good people can follow me at AfterBuzz TV. I don't really tweet much on my own. Follow us there.
Well, get with it, Phil.
Yeah. That's why I come here. Listen to me here and then follow you guys. Follow these people. Don't follow me.
JJ, where can they follow you?
I'm at JJ Jurgens on Twitter and Jurgens JJ on Instagram.
And Tom Girl Talk.
I wasn't going to do it tonight. Throw you off.
Is her blog. I've been with JJ on so many after shows. I usually do her outro, which is just fun for me. But yes, follow JJ. She's great. She has some amazing pictures. She was on the red carpet at the SAG Awards last night.
Thanks, Phil.
She looked beautiful.
And I did see William H. Macy walk by, and I tried, but it's going on in.
Next time.
You should yell. You should be like, Phil Svitek, Phil Svitek.
No, I was gonna go there. I was like, it was so quick. It was like.
Yes, but you'll be back. You'll be back. And then you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Hayley Clover, and look out for that time for next week.
That's right.
But we'll see you next time. Goodbye, folks.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.